Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, let's discuss about the compute engine. So Google Compute Engine is a virtual machine service that allows user to create, run virtual machine service on Google's infrastructure. So Compute Engine provides a variety of virtual machine types like standard, high memory, high CPU, and the custom machine types. So based on the use cases as well as requirement, you can just select any of these virtual machines. So it is an unmanaged computing service. So when I say unmanaged, so user has the complete power to customize the virtual machines which they're gonna create inside the Google Cloud. So now let's try to understand the virtual machine concept in simple terms. So I can say a virtual machine is a digital version of a physical computer. So we all have used the computer, right? So we have the CPU, we have RAM, we have input, output, and disk, and it's a physical hardware. So whenever I want to create a virtual machine, so with the name you can just guess virtual is something which can be accessed over the internet. Okay, so there'll be a VMs, okay, so or the laptops which is not physically present within us. Of course, we can just access that entire laptop over the internet. Okay, so that's what the virtual machine says. So it is a virtualized instance of computer that can perform almost all the functions as that of computer, right? So each virtual machine consists of complete operating system and a set of virtualized hardware resources like CPU, memory, storage, and the network interfaces. So in simple terms, it is a digital version of the physical computer. So now let's discuss some of the important features. So the compute engine help us to create and manage the life cycle of the virtual machine instances. So it allows us to do the load balancing and the auto scaling for the multiple VM instances. So what is the load balancing? Okay, in case if you have a high traffic and you want to balance those traffic between the multiple virtual machines, we can do that with help of load balancing. And the auto scaling is just increasing the configurations either horizontally or vertical. Okay, so we have the concept of auto scaling which help us to scale our virtual machines based on our requirements as well as the other traffic which is flowing into our virtual machines. So it is attached storage to a virtual machine. It even provides extra storage, okay, which help us to connect to our virtual machines. So we have something called storage as well as network storage, okay, which we're gonna see that in the hands-on. So it is a managed network connectivity and the configuration for VM because it is a virtually present, right? So if I want to connect to that particular machines, we need some kind of networking. So we can just manage all those networking while using this service. So now our goal is to set up the virtual machine as a HTTP web server, and we even will see how to distribute this with the load balancers. Okay, so we'll be seeing that as an hands-on in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, let's create a virtual machine from scratch, and even I'll be showing you how to do the SSH to connect to your virtual machine. So once you are getting to the console, okay, this is what the homepage you will be seeing. And if you are logging in for the first time, this is what you'll be seeing. That is free trial status, 25,662 credit. So make sure you utilize this credit properly. Once you're done with the practicing, make sure you delete all the instances or all the services once it is done. Okay, so that you can just make use of this credit in learning other things as well, right? So yes, so let me just click on activate here. So let me click on activate. So this is done. All right, so now so this is what the free credit I have now. So first step is to look for the services. Okay, there are the various options how you can just look for the services. So one of the option is you can just go to this navigation menu, and here you can just look for the different services here. And instead of that, if you know the service name, you can just directly search it here like compute engine, and even you can find some of the popular services over here. So let me just search for compute engine, and this is what the compute engine is. And once you get into this, okay, so here you can see so many options, but one of the option which we are looking for is to create instance, right? So this is where I'll be creating a new instance. So click on create instance here. So once you click on create instance, so it will navigate to a page where you need to do the verification. That is, you need to verify that you are an administrator. So let me click on verify account over here, And so here, of course, I need to provide some of the details for the billing. So let me click on start verification, and here I have few details. And even I need to enter the Aadhaar number as well as some of the options which is required for the billing verification. So I'll be entering all those information and I'll submit it. So I'll just record once this verification is done. All right, I'm just done with the billing verification. Okay, need to enter the Aadhaar card number for the verification, or you can just enter the document. It could be voter ID or a passport. So I'm just done with the billing verification, and yes, so let's start. So if you are just again go back to the navigation section here, you can just look for the compute services, compute engine. So from here, if you click on virtual instances, okay, it will just open a page from where you can just create a new instance. So right now, we don't have any instances over here. You can just find that here, right? So it's just completely blank, and whatever the instances you're gonna create, okay, so that will be listed here. Fine. Okay, let me just go and click on create instance. Okay. So if you click on create instance, so here we need to enter some of the details, okay, to complete this entire process. Okay, if you are just using this Google Cloud platform for the first time, so or if you have worked with other cloud services like AWS, okay, so there also you'll get some kind of an application, kind of a form, okay, where you'll enter all your configurations, all the settings. So here also you need to follow the same steps. Okay, here you'll have a certain steps which you need to complete all the steps, and you can, if after completing all the steps, if you click on create, the virtual machine will be created. All right, so here so one thing you can just observe here is like we have something called monthly estimate. So by default, if you start any of the services, there will be some default property, default configurations set up. For example, so there is some default name, default region. Then we have the virtual machine types, right? So we have general purpose compute. So by default, it has selected some E2, right? So all the configurations, okay, which you can see, okay, once you click on create virtual machine. So based on that configuration, this is what the monthly estimate is. Okay, and so because we are in the learning stage, okay, we'll not be changing any of the parameters as such, but I'll be explaining like what we are doing in each and every step. All right. Okay, so first let's start with the machine configuration. The first step is we need to give the name here. So here let me just enter the name. I'll just tell Euron test demo virtual machine. Okay, can just give any name over here. So next is the region. Okay, so in which region I want to host this machine. So by default it has selected this US Central one, that is lower. And so in case if you want to select any of the options, you can just do it, but because we are in the free credit, okay, so we are in the learning phase, right? So I suggest you just follow up like whatever I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm just going with the default region here. And next we have the a zone. Okay, so in which availability zone, or the way in which because in once you have selected the region, so we need to go up with any of the zones here. Okay, let me just go with the zone, that is US Central 1A. And or you can just click on any. Okay, so any will basically select any zone. Okay, this virtual machine will be hosted of any of the zone listed over here, and it will be Google's choice. Okay, that's what you can see here. So Google will choose a zone on your behalf, maximizing the virtual machine obtainability, and the zone is permanent, right? I'll just go with the any. So in case if you want to create in any specifically in this region, then you need to select this zone here. Okay, let me just click on any here. All right, so next option is like I need to select which compute engine I need. Okay, so here we have a general purpose, we have compute optimized, okay, so we have memory optimized, storage optimized, and the GPUs. So if you click on general purpose, so this machines is used commonly used for the common workloads, and it is optimized for the cost and flexibility. Okay, when we go with the general purpose. So next we have the compute optimized. So this machine types is used whenever you are doing some compute extensive compute workloads. Okay, so you can go with this compute optimized. And memory optimized. Okay, instead of compute, if you're looking for the memory, a higher memory, right, so in terms of executions, or you want to manage or store the huge amount of memory, then you can go with this memory optimized. So next we have the storage optimized. Okay, so here this is for the storage, sorry, this is for the memory. Okay, that is with respect to the CPUs right? So here you can just read this out as machine types for workloads with the higher memory to the vCPUs ratios, okay? And this is storage, okay? If you are looking for storage extensive workloads, then you can just go with this option, that is storage optimized. So next we have the GPUs also, okay? So that is for the machine learning or the generative AI task, okay? If you're looking for the GPUs, okay, just click on the GPUs. I'll go with the default option, that is general purpose, and within that we have a different series, okay? So like you can just read that in the descriptions. As a beginner, no need to remember all this everything. It completely depends on the research and the work you're doing it, right? So here, with respect to your requirement or the job which you want to do it in the virtual machine, so based on that you'll be selecting these options. Like if you are selecting the C4, it is a consistently high performance machine, right? So with the 2 CPUs and the 4 GB memory. And if you're going with this N4 series, is flexible and cost optimized. It comes with 280 vCPUs. And if you hover onto this question marks, right here, you can just see the help also, that is this value represent the range of vCPUs available for each preset machine type, right? And by default is selected E2, which is a low cost day-to-day computing, okay? If you want to do some day-to-day computing, the basic task, right, you can just go with this, that is 0.25 to 32 vCPUs, or you can just tell CPUs, and this is 128 GB, right? And so the platform is based on availability. And so yes, so this is all about the compute engine which is selected by default, right? Next is machine type, okay? So here so by default is like E2 medium with the 2 CPUs and the 1 core, 4 GB memory. This is what is. In case if you want to change that, okay, you can just select whatever the instance sizes you require, right? So with respect to standard or high memory or high CPU, I'll just go with the default one. And if you want to do some custom, right, so how many cores or how many memory it's required, you can see all those things are manageable, right? And you can see like as per like what I'm selecting, you can parallelly see the monthly estimate, okay? I'll just go with the preset. All right, so because if you do custom, okay, this is what the default one is, that is 2 CPU and 1 GB, and based on that, this is what the estimate I'm getting it. So I'll go with the preset option, and so this is what my updated monthly estimate is. Fine. So in case you want some any advanced configurations, okay, you can just add that. Okay, let me just go with the default one. Fine. So let me click on OS and the storage. See the OS and the storage. Okay, so here we can see like what is the I mean like the overall the operating system and the storage which I've selected, right? So we can see the name, the type, okay, the size, the license, and the image. Okay, more importantly the image. This is what the image we have selected. And if you go here and inside this advanced configuration, yeah, so here we have a change option, okay? And one main thing to observe is so this UI will keep on changing it sometimes, like so whatever while recording, okay, if you are watching this, and sometimes some of the options may be available in some different section, okay? For example, the image part, okay? So while creating a virtual machine, generally used to have that inside the machine configuration sections, okay? So where you can just change the operating system, but now they have just added that in this section, okay? So that is OS and storage. And from here, so this is what the default one is, that is the Debian, right, Linux based. So in case if you want to change that, okay, you can click on change. And if you click on change, okay, so here you have all the images, okay? So basically the operating system which you want to work with. And so here the operating system, it's Debian. In case if you want to change that, so here we have that options, like we have Debian, okay, so we have CentOS, okay, the Fedora, then we have Linux, okay, SQL Server, Windows, SQL Server on the Windows Server, Ubuntu, okay, Windows Server, okay. So whatever the operating system you required, you can just select that. Fine, I'm just going with this default one. So even you can create the custom images, okay, so we'll be doing that in the future videos. We have something called snapshots, okay, archive snapshots, or if you want to attach some of the disk, right, so we can do that, okay. So I'll just go with the public images, and the Debian, this is what it's selected, and this is what the version says. See, so this is just the way of creating a virtual machines, okay. So here nothing to by heart or nothing to write down something. So of course whenever you are getting into some of the task, okay, you'll be doing the research, okay, what kind of virtual machine is required for my task. So based on that, you'll be selecting what is the operating system is required and what is the versions it's required, right? It's similar to like how you buy the laptop, okay? So whenever you're going to purchase the laptop, you'll be seeing all the configuration settings, okay? So whether this will help in our task, okay? For example, if you are a gamer, okay, you'll be looking for some high configuration laptops, right? So similarly, whenever you're getting into the virtual machines concept, okay, not only GCP or any other cloud platforms, you'll be selecting all the options based on your requirement. So even your learning has to be very open. I mean, like, so just play with the different options, okay? And so everything is self-explanatory here, okay? Okay, so next is yeah, so by default it is coming with this 10 GB, okay? So this is what is, I'll just go with the default one. And so you can see the monthly estimates is same, okay? So when I started, so next is the networking, and the networking is very important, okay? Just asking us to how we can just connect to this particular machine, okay? So I'll just go with this allow HTTP traffic so that I can just connect to the to my machine using the HTTP. If you want HTTPS, even you can just do that, right? Fine. So yes, so this is all about the basic settings, okay? So rest everything we can just explore it later on in the different topics. This advanced one, yes. So yes, so this is it's all about the configurations, and you can see this is what the different settings is, okay? So you just navigate wherever you want to go and just make the changes and click on create. So as soon as you click on create instance, everything is ready, okay? I mean, like, you just need to click on create so that your virtual machine will be created, and this is what the monthly estimate is. And by default, this is what the property is given by the GCP when you like learning when you are started with the fresh virtual machine, right? But based on your requirement, you can just modify all these parameters. All right, so this is done, okay? I just updated my name here, but rest all the configurations I'm just going with the default one. So let me click on here, click on create, okay? So now this virtual machine will be created, and it will take a bit of time, okay? Let's wait. So let's wait. All right, so you can see, so after a few seconds, okay, so my machine is visible right now, okay? So if you're stuck somewhere, okay, you can just always go back to the home page, okay? This is my Google Cloud, and again you can just search your compute engine, and from here you can go to the virtual instances, that is virtual machine instances, and here you can find all the instances which you have created. All right, so let me just get into this instance, okay? If you click onto this instance, here you can see all the details which has been used to create this virtual machine, like basic information, the name, okay, instance ID, description, the type, okay, status, when it was created, what is the location, okay? You can see by default it has selected US Central 1C. This is what this zone it has selected, because we have given any, right? So Google has chosen this zone. Then almost all the details, okay, machine configurations, okay, networking, the firewalls, okay. Right now we can see this is what we have just set, right? So HTTP traffic, and we have set that to on. All right, so yes, so this is all about creating a virtual machine. So now if, in case if you want to connect to this, right, so directly we have an option to do the SSH here, okay? So if we click on SSH, so directly it will open that in the browser, okay? So transferring the SSH keys to the virtual machine. Let's wait. Okay, I need to authorize. Let me click on authorize here. Authorize. I need to enter the password. Make sure to enter your Google password. Continue. All right, so this is the machine. Yes, I'm successfully able to log in into my virtual machine which I've just created, and here you can see few details. Okay, you can just upload the file here. Here you can just download the file. Here we have few settings, okay, like themes. Okay, right now it's dark. Okay, I can just make it light. I can just go with the custom. Okay, let's go with the dark. Okay, it's looking good. And apart from that, you have the font size. Okay, like medium. Okay, so in case you want to make it large, so font size, if you make it large, this is what the large is, and almost like all the settings with respect to the machine. And you'll be wondering, okay, why this is a black box, right? So it's similar to the how you connect to your machine using the command line, right? So you'll interact everything using the command line. I can just do the ls here, right? So I can just create a directories, right? So I can just perform, even I can just tell who am I, who I am. Okay, it is who am I. Yeah, it is who am I. It's Imran, right? Can say I'm able to write all the commands here, right? So this is how you do the SSH. Okay, so very simple. And later on we'll see like how to upload file and download file and stuff. Okay, but quickly, if you want to connect your machine and start interacting it, okay, so this is the one of the best way. You can just click on connect SSH. It will be connected. Let me just close this. And apart from that, okay, so we have the other options, like right now it's in running. Okay, so I can just stop this instant, I can just suspend, I can do the reset, I can delete, right? So we have other options as well. I can see the logs also, right? So I suggest once you're done with the practice, okay, you can just click on this and click on suspend. Will just try to suspend the entire virtual machine. The stop will just stop it. Okay, so all your data will be stored there. And the suspend will just try to delete. It's like a terminate. Okay, you're terminating your entire instance. So what I'll do is I'll just try to suspend it, because so whenever I want to explain something again, I'm going to create the instance. Okay, so why to waste my credits, right? So I suggest once you're done with the practice, okay, make sure you just go and click on suspend, and this is how you suspend it. Okay, click on suspend, and so your virtual machine will be suspended. So if you try to refresh, so no longer you'll not be able to access this particular machines. Okay, and yes, so this is all about creating a virtual machine. So we'll be exploring more about this in our next videos. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to set up the HTTP web server on the Google Compute Engine. So let's get started. So let me just go to the search and look for Compute Engine here. And let's create a new instance. So in the previous video, I have given you the complete walkthrough of how to create an instance from scratch, right? So let me click on create instance. And here, let me just change this instance name to Euron HTTP demo. And here I'll just go with all the default options, and just to show you, this is the default options I have. Okay, this is the size 10 GB, and this is the name, and this is what the image is. That is a Linux. Networking, I'll just make sure that allow HTTP traffic, and so let's you even you can just allow the HTTPs also. Okay, so again, in this demo, so whatever we're doing, it's not required. You can just click on this allow HTTP traffic, so that you can just connect to this machine from the internet. And so rest everything is same. Let me just go and click on create. So let's wait. So it will take few seconds to create this instance. All right, so the status is instance is running. So let me just get into this instance. And here we know, like, we can find all the information or the details, the basic information, machine configuration, networking, the network, the firewalls, right? So the more important is firewall. Okay, so make sure this HTTP traffic is set to on. Okay, let me just go back, and from here let's get into the machine through the SSH. Let me click on this SSH over here. Let me just authorize this. Authorize. Okay, I need to enter the password. So it's taking time. Let's wait. Shit, I need to click on continue. Okay. All right. So right now I'm into machine. So if I just increase the font size to large, okay, it's in the large. Fine. So if I do ls, so right now we don't have any files and folders. Okay. So first step to create a HTTP server. Okay. The first step is to switch the current user to the root user, because root user is the administrator. So once you give the administrator, so you'll have the super user privileges, which help you to execute the administrative task, right? So let me just change that to sudo user, that is sudo su. This is the administrator root user. So my root user is /home/Imran. So next, let's update the package list from the repository. So this ensures the local list of available packages and the versions is up to date. Okay, so and the command for that is apt update. So this basically updates all the necessary packages and just prepare your system for the latest updates, whatever the servers needs. Okay, so it will install all those packages. All right, so next is the very important step. That's where we're going to install the Apache 2 web server. So Apache 2 is a popular HTTP server software used to serve the websites and the web applications. So let me just install that. That is apt install Apache 2. Let me install this. Let me click on yes. Okay, so it got installed. So now let me just get into this VM instance. And from here, so we have something called external IP. Let me just click on to that. Yeah, so you can see we have successfully launched the HTTP server, and so this is the Apache 2 Debian default page. And one thing observe here is like if you want to create your own page, okay, so we need to send all the necessary files to this path. Okay, so this is what. So you can see, so this is the default Debian document. Okay, and so if you want to send any of the index.html or whatever the files you want to host that as in the web server, right? You need to send that into /var/www/html. Okay, so now let me just get into this path and let's push some of the commands, so that instead of seeing this default page, we can see or print our custom messages. All right, so let me just go to this. Yeah, and here let me just enter all the commands. That is, so first I need to list the contents of /var/www/html, right? So let me just do the ls. So ls /var slash www slash html. Let me enter this. Okay, so right now you can see we have this index.html, right? So this is the default document root for the Apache 2. So any HTML files placed here will be served to the visitors accessing the server. So now let's, if I just do here echo hello world, echo hello world, and so this is what the hello world will is printed. Okay, so what I can do is, let me just create or override this index.html in this directory, that is whatever we have this index.html. Let's try to override this, and we can override with help of this echo command. Okay, so how we can do is, I can just tell echo, and I want to just print hello world, or I can just say world hello world. Okay, and I'll be using this greater than symbol, so which redirects the output of the echo command to the specified file. Okay, so here I'll mention the file, that is index.html. So I need to give the entire path, that is slash var slash www slash html, and within that we have index.html. So what this command is doing, so this creates or override the index.html file in the slash var slash www slash html directory with the text hello world. Okay, so let me just enter this. Okay, so now let me just go and refresh our default page. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see right now I'm getting this hello world. Okay, instead of directly just printing the hello world, let's see, can we print the server's IP address? Okay, we can do that. Okay, let me just first show like how the IP address looks. You can just do that with help of echo. We have the dollar, where is the dollar symbol? It's at 4. Okay, so dollar, and here you need to tell host name. And if you just tell the host name, okay, let me just enter this. You'll be getting the host name here. Okay, so this is the Euron HTTP demo. This is what the host name is. In case if you want to print the IP address, so instead of this, I can just give -i. Okay, so this will give the IP address of the machine. Okay, so this is 10.128.0.3. Okay, now let's try to print the host name as well as the host name as well as the IP address. Okay, let's try to combine this both information and let's try to print that along with the hello world. So how we can do that? So I can just tell echo. So this is just a demo to show you like how we are running the web server. So in case if you have some HTML files, okay, where you can just push it here. Okay, so if you just push that into this directory, it will just try to show up whatever you have added in the HTML index.html. All right, so I'll just tell hello. Hello world, from host name. I'll just enter the host name here, then the host name along with the IP address. So host name, and I'll just give the IP address. Let me just close that in a double quotes, and I need to send that to slash var slash www slash html slash index dot html. Okay, let me just do enter. Yes, so now if I just go here and do the refresh and see, I'm able to print hello world from this a host name as well as the IP address. Okay, so this is how you create the http server using the Apache 2. So once you're done with the practice, so always make sure you just delete the instance, select this, you can just click on to this suspend over here and click on suspend so that we can just save our free credits. I hope you understood how to create an instance and how we can just launch the HTTP server using this machine, right? So see you soon in the next video.